Hi everyone, Jasmine Hook here with D&L Farm and Home, and I've got Gina Bagby, our Purina Animal Nutrition rep, with us. We're just going to talk a little bit about liquid cattle feed. It's a new offering we have at D&L Farm and Home. We're really excited about it, so we just wanted to get Gina in to give us the scoop. So thanks for joining us, Gina. Let's start, Gina, with what is liquid cattle feed?
Sure. So really quick, first, we're really excited to get Purina's liquid feed here in North Texas. But liquid feed is basically a liquid feed supplement. It needs to be used with forage. But from there are a whole lot of differences, and I think we're going to get into that in a second. But some of them are molasses-based. Some of them are byproducts of some of the molasses industry. They vary in the types of nutrition they have, but they're meant to balance out what the forage either lacks for the cattle.
Okay, great. So forage is required.
For sure, forage is required. The concern would be on liquid feed that cattle would eat too much of it if there is no forage. The neat thing about it is that they can actually utilize very poor quality forage, and the liquid helps meet those needs and helps them make better use of that forage. But they do for sure have to have some, whether it be in the pasture or hay that they're providing.
Okay, great. So in a year like this, where forage quality or forage quantity is a concern, so we might only have access to poorer quality forage, this is a good option to supplement that.
Correct. We don't want to use the liquid feed in like a feedlot type situation, dry lot, or like a barren pasture. But if hay is being offered, or even if there's still some standing dead forage, and we know in a year like this that there's going to be some poor quality forage coming into the market, that's okay, because the cattle can take the liquid and get what they are missing from that poor quality forage.
What's the average consumption of liquid?
So we count the average consumption being like a pound per head, or a little over a pound per head, if you use it year round. And that is actually what we recommend, because a lot of times the cattle know quicker when they need to compensate for what the forage is lacking. But that is based on cattle, like in the spring when we have if we get good rainfall and we have good, fresh, new quality forage, a lot of times they may not even hit the liquid tanks. But then when we get to wintertime and with poor quality forage, especially in a year like this, then they might eat over 2 pounds per head. But the cattle do a really good job of monitoring. So over a year's period, it's about a pound per head.
But sometimes they might eat more, and sometimes
they may not even hit the liquid feeder. Yes.
Okay, great. Tell me what you think the 3 top reasons a cattle producer might want to feed liquid feed.
So I think one of the first, and especially when I think about a market like North Texas, where we have a lot of cattlemen that maybe have side jobs, do different things, but even if they don't have side jobs, fuel is extremely expensive right now. Labor has been an issue the last few years. So I think just the labor costs and the less labor to have to put out liquid, because you guys do that work. And then from then on, the cattleman just checks the cattle, so they're not feeding cubes every day, like using fuel to put out cubes and using that time to put out cubes. I think one of the other benefits of liquid feed is that the cattle truly know, especially on a liquid like the Accuration liquid, the cattle know what their needs are, and they start using the liquid to meet their needs based on forage quality quicker than we do. I know a lot of times when we're feeding cubes to our cattle, we may wait till frost, or we may wait till fall. A lot of times grass is starting to decline in quality even in the summer, and so you'll see cattle hit those tanks. And then as a result of that, I think maybe the third thing is that cattle stay in better body condition more consistently throughout the year, because they're getting the nutrition they need at the right times. I also think the neat thing about liquid feed is that cattle like you always have a pecking order in a herd, and so like if you put out cubes, you have some cows that are getting a lot of cubes. You have some that maybe aren't getting cubes. The way the liquid feed works and the way the AccuRation works is cattle are getting to the feeder. Like all cattle can get to the feeder because some of the other cattle are off grazing when maybe those more timid ones come up.
Great. Tell me a little bit, you mentioned earlier that there's a variety of liquid feeds available on the market. What makes Purina's different?
So we think one of the things that's unique about ours is first, it is molasses based. If you look at moisture content of the AccuRation liquid versus a lot of the other liquids out there, it's higher in dry matter content, or it has less moisture. Cattle have water, hopefully. They have water, so we don't need to be providing it through the liquid feed. So that means that there's more TDN, or more energy in the liquid. The unique thing about the AccuRation liquid is that it's 10% fat. And so there are very few liquids on the market that have that kind of fat level. So that also makes the energy go up. But there's also intake modifiers in the AccuRation liquid. So what we want to do is make cattle utilize the pasture the best that we can. And so they come up and eat some liquid, but they go off. They do not eat it all at once. They'll go graze. They'll utilize the poor quality pasture and keep coming back to the liquid multiple times a day, rather than just hanging out at the feeder and eating it all at once.
Great. Like little snacks all day.
Exactly. Snack feeding.
Snack feeding. Okay. Great. Tell us a little bit about what somebody needs to get started feeding liquid, and then maybe what the process looks like from where we're involved as well.
So really the biggest thing is getting a liquid tank. So a liquid feeder with the wheels that the cattle consume the liquid. That way you guys provide or sell those feeders. And so someone who wants to get into liquid feed can easily purchase those from you. And then after that, if someone has been on liquid feed before and wants to try our liquid, we recommend that the feeders get pretty low before we put our liquid in, just because every liquid is slightly different and they actually kind of have a little bit of a reaction. But after that, you guys do the delivery, which, like I said before, on the labor and stuff, it was really nice. Depending on how many cows you have, we kind of talk about maybe 50 to maybe around 50 cows per feeder. That you want to plan for that and have that number of feeders to take care of. That also keeps a cattleman from having to fill them up all the time.
Right. And then basically when you're ready for more liquid, then we come out with a truck and a trailer that has a big tank on it and fill your feeders for you.
Yeah.
And then you get to spend your days checking on your cows and not feeding them.
Exactly.
Great. Anything else you think we need to mention today?
I can't think of anything. I know that Purina is really excited. We think our liquid feed is one of the best ways to feed brood cows. They just, the condition they're in, really, liquid is high right now, obviously because of ingredient costs, but all feeds for cattle are high right now due to ingredient costs. So everything considered, it's a very good value. And I think you guys have a good team in place to help people with that, because you have 3 outside salespeople that can help customers in this area.
Well, we're also super excited to be offering it. Please don't hesitate to reach out or drop questions in the comments here, and we will get those answered. And if you're interested in trying it, you can let us know, or the next time you're at your local D&L, just let them know, and we'll get you in touch with one of our salespeople to help you get started. So,
Thanks, Jasmine.
Thank you, Gina, and thank you all for tuning in.